looks like we got a new friend!
Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to this week's session. This week, unfortunately, our Maestro is away, poorly or on a business trip or something. We can't remember what exactly what's going on, but he's away, so we will be doing something other than. So we're going to be building the game completely from scratch. So before we get started, let's go around and let's just introduce our players today. We'll go around anti-clockwise, starting with Alicia. Oh, hi, Alicia.
Oh, hi, I'm Energy 9. I'll be playing somebody in this system that I don't know anything about. Also, I do puns.
Pun master. Next, we have Animus Pantera.
Hello, I am Eris, slash Animus Panthera, and I'm excited to play the system that I've heard of but never played before.
Last but not least, Margaret Cohn.
Hey everyone, I'm Margaret Crone. By day, I help develop MMORPGs and make lots of video content. And by evening, I stream on Twitch and make lots of video content. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy whatever game we play and whatever characters we make.
Okay, so essentially today, we're just going to be playing Powered by the Apocalypse system.
I love those.
Very simple. We're going to just play very bare bones. So 2d6 are our rolls, 2 to 6 is a fail, 7 to 9 is a partial success, 9 upwards is a success. Before we get to that, we'll start with a little bit of world building, then we'll go to character creation, and then we'll get some playtime in at the end. So, is there any particular setting that anyone wants to play in? Industrial, nature, high fantasy, cyberpunk, 80s?
I'm up for whatever.
Let's not do the 80s. I wasn't alive then.
We could stick mousy if we want to carry on going mousy, or we could change it up and do something different.
We could do like post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic?
My request is no zombies. That is my only
we use bottle caps as our form of currency.
Okay, fantastic. Post-apocalyptic, definitely not copyrighted. Using
CDs are worth like platinum.
CDs are worth platinum. Bottle caps are your currency.
They're like your copper, yeah.
Because CDs are fragile, so they're hard to keep around.
Yeah, exactly. Bottle caps, they're easy to clink around.
They'll survive most things.
Yeah.
Okay, so in our post-apocalyptic world, we're using bottle caps and CDs as currency. What are the main features of the world? Is there any water? Maybe the water's all gone. Maybe it's arid. Is it technical? Has technology survived the apocalypse? What do we look more towards, Alicia or Animus for this, or Eris for this one? Obviously, no zombies. No zombies.
No zombies. How about technology didn't survive, but it's coming back now? So there's new technology.
New technology. Okay. So how do you mean new technology? Like technology
like as in we've gone back a little bit. Like technology went to 0, so we were at 100, and technology went to 0, and now we're like at 25.
Okay, so like building up old mechanical things again. What, like hand lathes, or do you reckon they've got a steam engine by now, or?
Yeah, sure. Not very good steam engines though.
Okay, so we're getting there. So Alicia, last question from you, and this one's come from chat. Magic or no magic?
Magic.
Magic. Okay, so we've got a magical, semi-industrial revolution, post-apocalyptic world. Perfect. So now, that's plenty enough for us to get started on, world-wise. Do we want to start in a city, a village, or out in the wilderness?
I vote city.
Yeah, I'm in for
Why not?
city.
City. Perfect.
Yeah, because like a post-apocalyptic city sounds fun.
Okay, now I didn't prepare you for this, but you will need a sheet of paper and a pen.
Okay.
Asking a
make
lot
this
right
happen.
now. That's all I'm saying.
Similarly, if you can open a notepad, the notepad should suffice for you.
I'll be right back.
Okay. The character building is only going to be in 5 steps. All it's going to be. A sheet of paper and a pen, says chat. I know. Tabletop gaming's come so far. Okay, so when we think of character creation, we're going to think of 5 defining things that that create your character. These things will also still be up to you. They could be things like their job, where they live, those sort of things. We're just going to come up with 5 things that define your character. So I'll start off. What does your character do to survive? Do they have a job? Do they scavenge? What do they do to make it day to day? We'll go the opposite way around this time. We'll start with Maggie, especially because it looks like she's already got an idea.
Oh well, no, I like have a couple ideas of what I could do. I like the idea. Ooh, this is one where you have to think a little bit. A job, like a profession that you have in a post-apocalyptic. Oh, you guys can totally give us ideas in chat too, because that would be fun.
Definitely.
I feel like there's like a gate that protects our city. And what I do is I like help like surveillance that gate.
Okay.
So I'm in like this small room on the corner side of one of the gates. So either like the west side or the east side or something like that. And I'm in a small room there with like a couple monitors like that we've scavenged and have been able to put together. And we have like 2 old school cameras, one on the east gate and one on the west gate that I'm kind of like monitoring. And then we have one that's like on our main building that's at the center of the town that kind of we do all of our gathering and stuff at. We have one there too, just in case. So no one steals anything because we have like some really important things locked up in that area. That kind of helps make sure that everyone's fed and stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. So, jot down
So I'm like a
list...
guardsman type of thing.
Yeah. Do you do guarding as well? Do you think you're like physically fit, or are you a desk jockey?
Oh, I'm more of a desk jockey.
Okay, so surveillance then. I'd put on your character sheet, surveillance is your job. Job surveillance. And we can interpret that as we go. I love it though. Next around, oh hi Eris.
Hi. I'm definitely stealing this from a book I like. But I think I would be kind of, since we have magic, yes, kind of like magical pest control. Like, I feel like since magic is just like, there wasn't magic before and now there is, probably the animals are also being affected by magic. And now we have like magic animals that nobody has to deal with. So I'm magic pest control.
Ooh.
Magic pest control. Beautiful. And Alicia.
My character would be sort of like basically a mercenary. You know, like you got a job, we'll do it. Coin is the currency I care about.
Of course, yep. Caps.
Yeah, and like what little magic there is, it's mostly just like, you know, I can find a person. That's it.
Okay. Maybe the odd healing spell, maybe, for when you're in a bind?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. That'll stretch. Okay. Cool. So, Alicia, what is the next thing that defines your character? Could be where they live, what they get up to when they're not working, how they interact with people?
See, the character very into body art. Every successful mark is another piece of art. Not necessarily the same thing, so it's not always tally marks or anything. It's
So do you have
something
like a lot of tattoos and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
Yep.
I love
Okay.
it.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Thank you, Crimson Rosebud. Okay, so body art. What would we call that? It doesn't feel like a hobby. Or maybe it is. What do you think? You're muted, Eris.
Could be like a passion. Everybody has a passion.
Okay, yeah. Okay, what's your character passionate about? Body art. Love it.
Here we go.
So we will continue going clockwise around, and I'll start with Eris next. Otherwise, I just realised Eris is always going to be in the middle as we ping back and forth. So we'll go to Maggie next.
Ooh. So this is our passion, right?
Your passion.
I'm gonna say that this character's a tech junkie. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
They've been salvaging like Commodore 64s and like old
Like whenever he sees an item, he just like immediately knows like what it is. Like he knows everything from the history of tech. And he's read like all the old school magazines. He probably has like a stack of them next to his chair.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And Eris.
I'm kind of thinking like I'm in the habit of like anytime I go to a new place or something like particularly happens there, like if I had a really cool job somewhere, I collect like souvenirs almost, but not like anything valuable where like you buy, but like I found this cool rock on the ground. This is my souvenir from this thing. So like a collection of random junk.
Okay.
Basically. But
So-
each is attached to a memory.
Compulsive collector, maybe?
Yeah.
I'll just put down collector. That'll be. So then, Eris, what is the next defining thing about your character? It could be anything. It could be a relation to them, someone that they have a relationship with, not necessarily romantic. It could be we've got a passion. It could also be a hobby or something else that defines them.
How about like most important person? So
Okay.
like my character would have like somebody who is like their best friend, and when they're not working, they do like everything together. They just hang out constantly.
Okay, yeah, I love that. So, best friend. And let's see, we're going the same way around. So, Alicia?
The character be actually sort of like into theater. Like there's a particular theater in this city that they always go to when there's a new show.
Uh-huh.
Like, so there's sort of like a patron of that place. Like a silent one. Like they're there, but you know, they give money, like they don't say anything about it. It's like, I like this thing, but I'm not going to say anything about it. And that's so that they always go back there and support that place.
Okay, so really into the art. We'll put that one down as a hobby. What about a person that you're close to?
Bartender at the Broken Table. Been friends with them for years.
Bartender, perfect. And then Maggie, how about you? Who's your favorite person?
Oh, for favorite person, I'll probably go with. I have a grandfather who I live with, and his name is Henry. I call him Grandpop. And he's really sick, so he stays in bed most of the time, and I've been basically taking care of him, so I haven't really made a lot of friends or anything like that because I just work and then I take care of him, and we don't really have a lot of a lot of bottle caps, so we're not able to, do much else. And most of my money goes towards making sure that we can keep the medicine that he needs in stock.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Eris, what is your hobby?
I don't know if they'd still call it that, but I kind of want to say it's like almost like parkour. Not exactly, but like I think there's actually a word for it. It's like people who like to like climb things they're not supposed to climb, like go up on buildings and stuff and then get in trouble for it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, parkour or free running, that sort of thing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna say free running.
And Maggie, what's your hobby?
Well, I think the tech junkie is probably his hobby, like collecting junk and tech junk.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that he could have is he kind of gets visions when he touches things.
Oh, okay. Useful visions, or do you just trip out?
Sometimes it's like what last happened with the object.
Okay.
It tends to be like something like that. And he gets it the most with tech stuff. Maybe that's why he likes collecting them.
Okay, so that sounds a lot like a power. Alicia and Eris, would you like to have a power as well?
Why not?
What do you want?
Well, I kind of like said earlier, like being able to find like one person, sort of like a specific thing, like this person, limited information about the area around it.
Some sort of auto location. Got it.
Yeah.
Could I do? I feel like these are all really similar, but whatever. Like if I touch a person or like like a living thing, I can like sort of like see a memory. I maybe don't get to pick it, but like.
I think that's too similar to Maggie's.
Too
Think something
similar?
else. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could have. This is a game we're making up on the spot. I mean, there's no balance in this. You could make it that you can turn things inside out or something. Yeah, like. I don't know why my brain went straight to that, but there you go.
Oh, graphic.
Sorry. Flashbacks.
Fireball caster.
Could be. Could be. I mean,
Maybe not quite fireball, but maybe like
Maybe you have animal taming. Maybe you have an animal taming, like you have calm animal or something. Like you're really good at calming other animals because like your whole thing is like your pest control, right?
yeah.
Or maybe fireball. That's how you get rid of the
I was
pest.
I say both of
maybe
them.
not be like fireball per se. I feel like my character's the one that lives dangerously. I'd be like I can like a fire powers, maybe not necessarily like a whole fireball, but I can light things on fire.
You're a pyromancer.
Yeah.
Fire powers or location. Okay, so does everyone have 5 things on their sheet? Maggie, I've got one short on
I have
you.
3 things.
Surveillance, tech junkie.
Oh, 4 things.
Grandfather, visions. Cool. We need one more thing.
And it has to be like a hobby, you think?
Yeah, like a hobby or a passion, or just something you're interested in other than tech. Maybe something specific about the tech. Or it could be a mild interest in medicine. Maybe you have to make some of your grandfather's stuff yourself.
Maybe it's more like kind of like a streetwise. Like he's had to like bargain, like like haggle or streetwise type of thing, where he's like, because he's had to like haggle to get the medicine prices down and stuff like that.
Perfect. That'll do grand. Okay, so with the 5 things in front of you, these are going to be your modifiers for your rolls. Okay? So, when we are doing anything, so let's say we are looking for a person, you'll roll your 2d6. For Alicia, I think you could get mercenary and auto location on there, so that'd be +2. 2d6 +2. Just straight off the top of my head, as an example. Also, I would say that these would also be, if you can use one of these as a minus to your dice roll, if you can do it 5 times, you get a new skill. Okay? Real simple game. So, now the question is, how do we all meet? And I think that's probably where I come in. Why don't we start in the broken table?
And the modifier will be just +1, you said?
Yeah,
For-
+1 per skill.
Okay. Okay.
So if it's a typical evening in the Broken Table, who's there already?
Carla would be my character.
Okay, just hanging out. Carla.
Yep.
Perfect. Got a character name as well. That's a very important part of character creation, which I neglected.
My name's gonna be George.
Carla.
Karla.
Okay.
Because I want to be different.
That's fine. Mortal Kombat, it's fine. And yours was George.
George, yep.
And Eris.
Random name generator, but I like it. Let's be cyan.
Who?
Cyan, like the color.
Oh, Cyan. Okay, cool. I thought you were saying Sam in a really southern accent.
No, cyan. No.
I'm
Sam.
Sam.
Cyan.
No, like the color.
Like the colour. Perfect. Okay, let's bring those in now. And also we've hit 10 retweets, so I'm going to give you each a number. We started with Alicia, so Alicia, you can be 1, Maggie, you can be 3. Those are your numbers. I'll roll the D3. Today we're going to be using our actual Wild Magic Search table, which I don't think you guys have had the chance of doing yet.
No.
On a 1, Alicia, please roll me 1D610. If you guys are interested in our Wild Magic Surge table, head over to our Discord. It's in the suggestion box. It's pinned there,
49 apparently.
and you can add to it by posting in the suggestion box. Oh, cool! You find a coin with 2 heads.
Cool.
Like-
New way to cheat. I mean, I don't cheat. Shut up.
Cool. So you're sitting at the table, perhaps dicing then.
Maybe. Who wants to know?
So who would be the first person to enter the scene today? Would it be George or Cyan?
I feel like George would be working late. So maybe he'll be the last one to show up.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So Cyan, what are you doing in this pub at this time of day?
I feel like probably I just finished a job that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. And I met up with my friend who was like, "Where the hell were you?" And it's like, "It was harder than I expected, okay? Let's go get a drink."
Perfect. Okay, so you walk in with your best friend then?
Yes. Who I haven't named. Let's name that person too.
And what will their name be?
Just a second. That didn't work. I wanted it to and it didn't. Just a second.
The speedy name generator is impressing me, to be fair. I'm rubbish at speed name generating.
I love coming up with names. I don't know why, but I have fun with it.
Yeah.
That was worse.
I'm good at coming up with like good Germanic dwarven names. You know, like Kardak.
Just dwarven names.
Yeah.
That's your.
That's my groove.
That's my
Kardak.
expertise. My
Guzgirt.
expertise is dwarven names.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one to have.
Yeah. That's
Dwarves are awesome.
it's my
Juno.
mastermind topic.
Juno.
My best friend's name
Ooh.
is Juno.
Juno. Ooh. Powerful. So, the night plays out. Carla perhaps doing whatever you do at the bar. Cyan with your best friend doing whatever you do. So the point that we're interested in from a storytelling point of view is when you two interact. How does it happen?
Hey, you. You look new here. What's your name?
Cyan.
Cyan, huh? Well, For new people, there's a tax. You buy me a beer, your night goes well.
Cyan, she like whispers in your ear, be careful, she's a known mercenary.
Sure, I'll buy you around. Just one though.
Perfect. That's what the price is. I don't charge any more, any less. Yo, Tops! Another one on this one. Cyan, was it? Cyan. On Cyan.
Yeah, you got it. I'll bring it out in a second.
So, what brings you here?
You know, just trying a new place for some drinks. Been a long day at work.
Nice. Breaking everything in here, sorry.
The terrifying mercenary takes a moment to dig through a random drawer.
It's like, yeah, where do you work?
Oh, well, I work for me. Self-employed, so to speak.
Big spender, self-employed. And you only want to buy me one drink? Ah, where's your generosity?
Maybe not that great. I do okay, though.
The overweight, greasy man makes his way out of the back with a tankard of ale that he's produced from somewhere. Here you go, Carla, you're normal. Cyan, can I get you anything? That was your name, right?
Yeah, that's me. I kind of like elbow Juno, and I'm like, what do you want tonight?
Wine? Huh, yeah, okay.
I'll take the same.
2 wines, okie dokie. And he makes his way out the back again. This bar is literally just a bar. There's no drinks or bottles on it or anything.
Oh. You work for yourself? How long you been in this city?
Oh, you know, pretty much all my life.
Odd I haven't run into you, but I guess you, stay on the level. That's good. If you did know me, well, we're here under friendly circumstances. Let's not worry about alternative paths.
Out the back, yeah. You scaring the customers again, Carla?
What? Get off my back, Tops! I'm just talking!
I'm trying to get a business here.
If you want better business, get a better mug, you schmuck.
When you're right, you're right. So, Maggie, when do you think George would enter this scene?
I honestly don't know if George would, because George doesn't have a lot of money to spend on, like...
George just wanders by. Maybe the bar
alcohol.
is outside.
Maybe you need alcohol as one of your components. Maybe you need, like, vodka or something for cleaning or something.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would be spending his money on that. Or maybe he walks by whenever as they're leaving the bar after their drunken escapade.
So, okay, this leads to several questions. During this time, how much do you two drink and how do you get on? Do you leave the bar as best friends? Or do you leave the bar because you have to leave quickly before you wreck the place?
Carla has decided Cyan is her great new friend with pockets that she will be digging into.
I feel like Cyan and Juno were probably like, the wine here was a bit questionable. This bar rated a 0. So we maybe finish our drinks politely, but then are like, you know, here's a tip. We're leaving.
Tell all your friends.
Sure thing.
Well, maybe I'll go outside and scare you up some more business. You stay here, Tops.
I was gonna.
Right. Carla will wander outside, basically see who's going by.
George is going by. Oh, hi, George.
There we go.
Yeah, you kind of see this really lanky, pretty tall fellow. He's wearing like jeans that are kind of ripped up in parts, and like his shoes kind of have little bits of holes in them, and he's wearing like just a plain, just green t-shirt. Just normal, average looking dude. He's just walking by. He's got like something underneath his arm.
Hey, you! Want to get a drink? They got drinks in there, pretty cheap.
He kind of tries to like walk a little faster, like he's trying to ignore you, but you just keep like shouting at him and saying things at him, and he like
Hey,
like
you don't know acknowledgement? You won't even talk to me? You're too good for me?
and then he stops as you continue to berate him as he slowly gets. He's like fully in front of you, and he's like, what do you want?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you should go into this fine establishment and have another drink. See, look, you see them right there, Juno and Cyan? They were just taking a breath of fresh air, but they're gonna come back in, kind of like hooking an arm around both your shoulders.
We're like,
and have another go.
You're both like
Come
looking
on,
at each
we'll
other.
be best friends.
Yeah, George looks down and he like waves his other hand that doesn't have like a bunch of stuff on it, and he's like kind of trying to like grab the things that as he gets like smooched over closer to not drop them, and he's like, sorry about that. He pushes his hand out and he's like, name's George.
Okay, and Carla kind of like, with like reaching over Cyan's shoulder still, like shakes your hand vigorously. It's quite muscled.
Yeah, he went to he was actually shaking Cyan's hand, but you like go to grab his hand instead, and now it's like in this awkward side handshake.
It's perfect.
I don't really have money for drinking, sorry.
It's okay, it's on Cyan. Let's go.
He kind of looks at Cyan like as he's like grabbing his stuff, and he's like,
It's fine. Don't worry about it. This way, please. Hey, Top's got another one.
you're not really a mercenary. You're getting hired to like bring people in.
This is what she's doing. Maybe this
You're
is
like
what she
the
does in
dude that's
the
dressed up in a hot dog suit trying to get everybody into the hot dog restaurant.
just being really intimidating while doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Cyan goes in and like Juno goes in, then like George will get kind of shoved in as well and follow.
Oh, they're going in.
Back in you will go. As you head back in though, Tops is out the back. He doesn't answer when you call.
Ooh.
Hey, Tops, where did you go? Are you on a vacation or something?
No banter comes back at you. There's just silence back there.
All right.
George is like,
Go ahead.
are y'all sure this place ain't empty?
Yeah, no, just here. You wait here. And,
Maybe-
Carlo
maybe
kind of
we could-
hop over the bar to go out the back where Tops normally is.
Yep. As you head out the back, there's no sign of Tops. You can see where he keeps the wine and the ale, which is basically brown liquid and slightly pink liquid.
Yep.
But other than that, there's no sign of him. However, the back door is hanging slightly open.
Right. And then at this point, Carl is slightly in, more, serious mode. So she's going to kind of like creep up to the door and sort of peek around, see if she can see anybody there.
Yeah, it just leads out onto a back alley. There's not anyone around. However, on the floor you can see like a rag on the floor.
All right. Pick it up, see if it's just regular cleaning rag or what, or...
It certainly looks like the sort of thing you would have seen on tops in the past.
Okay.
If you'd like to get more information from the scene, you could do some sort of investigation roll.
All right, we will do that. Yeah, it's just you try and use some basic figure out work. So it's 2d6, right?
2d6, but let's see what you can apply to it first. So you've got your 5 things there. What do you reckon you could apply?
I suppose if I use my ability, I could probably apply the tracking, essentially.
Yeah, that's one.
I'm not sure I'd apply mercenary quite yet because it's just me literally just looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably say just that, or maybe also since Tops is my favorite person and I know them really well.
Yeah,
So 2.
I'd say you've got 2. Yeah, so
Okay.
2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2.
6 to 9. It's 6 to 8 is partial success. 9 plus is a success. So you can tell Tops has dropped this deliberately. He's gone somewhere, and he's left this behind to let you know.
And I assume this is rather unusual behavior from all the time I spent with Tops.
Oh yeah, he never leaves the bar if he doesn't have to. He's wide as a house.
There. All right. So I imagine Carla will actually kind of go back to the front. Well.
Could
Oh, go ahead.
could George and Scion and Juno have had a conversation while that was all happening?
Totally.
Amen.
Totally.
Because I feel like we'd be like doing something else while that's going on.
We're not super concerned about this missing bartender that we just met 5 seconds ago who sold us poor alcohol.
Yeah, George is kind of standing there at the bar and he's like, where's she going?
I don't know. This is a really weird bar, and they don't keep their alcohol where you can see it. It's back there.
Does anyone keep anything where anyone else can see it? As far as I've seen, there'd be thieves all over the place.
Admittedly, that can be true, but a lot of bars I've been to, the bartenders are, shall we say, well armed.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
that's true.
I guess around here, maybe not the same. Where are you from anyway?
I'm from around here, not this part of town, but I'm from around here. I had a job nearby. Thought we'd try someplace new. It was maybe not the best decision.
Then why'd you come back in?
I don't know if you noticed, but it was pretty hard to say no to that lady
Carla,
there.
right? That's
Yeah,
her name?
Carla. You're apparently pretty dangerous person. I try not to get into trouble with dangerous people.
He kind of gets quieter and leans down because he's really tall. And he's like, dangerous? What do you mean by that?
I don't know, sometimes it's dangerous people in certain parts of town. Where did you spend your time that you don't know this?
I mean, I know there's dangerous people, but you said that she be dangerous.
Yeah. I don't know why. Just heard she's, bad news. Don't get on her bad side. So I stuck around, and when she told me to come back, I did.
All right, that's, I guess, good to know. You said you were working. Where do you work at?
Wherever they need me. They got those, magic animals. They're annoying and they're hard to kill. If you need to get rid of them, you call me, and I get rid of them for you.
Them fire hyenas up north. We've been seeing a bunch of them come by the gate lately.
Yeah, you gotta pay me a lot if you want me to take care of those ones.
Well, my job is just to report them. I don't handle the taking care of them. I work at the surveillance port on the east side.
It's an exciting job.
Hey, for me, I like my technology, and well, in these parts we don't get a lot of it.
It's true.
I think that's probably enough time for
I'm guessing
Carla
about then. That's when she comes in. Yeah.
Okay. So, it appears that my good friend is missing. And seeing as I'm sure you are good, upstanding citizens, you will help me find him.
Well, what does he look like?
Big as a house. Horrible mustache. But you know, good guy.
All right. Well, how tall is he?
Tall, however tall. Yeah, he's a big guy. He's not to miss.
Well, you last saw him here, right?
That's correct.
You sure he just didn't drink too much and wander off?
He's got a business to run.
I mean, how far could he have gotten in the 5 minutes we were outside?
Pretty far, apparently.
Well, you know, we'll spend a couple minutes, we might be able to find him. And if not, he's an adult.
I know Tops pretty well. This is very unusual.
All right. Well, where was the last time you saw him?
Here at the bar.
Yeah, like the exact location of where you saw him.
Here at the bar. Like she'll like indicate
He kind of like
standing at the bar.
throws his arms up in the air, and then he like walks over to the other side of the bar, and he's like, I meant if you knew exactly where he last was, but I'll see what I can do. He kind of, I guess he'll like touch his hands across the bar of like where she said he last saw him. Does he see any, or does he have any visions when he does that? I guess I probably have to roll to see if I get any visions.
Yes, please.
Okay, 2d6 plus, I guess, it makes sense that my visions would be a +1 here.
Yep.
This isn't a tech thing, but it is a surveillance-y type of thing, like I'm looking for somebody. Could that apply? Like my skill?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah, you can stretch these as much as you can. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't think anything else makes sense for this.
No.
12. Oof.
12. That is a strong success. You see Tops walk out the back, and he looks over his shoulder at one of the storage doors, and when he does so, he just runs for the back door.
Oh yeah, so all of you guys see, you see George like put his hands on the countertop where you said that he was last at. And then you see all of a sudden like he stays still and his eyes kind of roll back and you just see white where his eyes would normally be. And he just kind of stands there for a little bit and then you see him like shake his head. And then he blinks a little bit and his eyes come back down and you can see like the green of his eyes with a little bit of hint of like blue in it. And he's like, he kind of looks back at the back door where you came from, Carla. He's like, yeah, I think you might be right, lady. Something might have happened here. And he walks in through that door and around the corner. And he's going to kind of like look around in the other room.
The room that he looked at before he ran?
Yeah.
So, tell us, Eris, what creature... What creature might have been in that room? What creature is likely to lurk in bars? What sort of magical pest?
Ooh, in a bar. I want to say it's like a raccoon, but like the most horrifying raccoon you've ever experienced in your life. Like larger than normal and magical.
A dire raccoon.
Yeah.
There.
Dire raccoon, awesome. So you had a great success. so I'm not going to say there's a dire raccoon in there, but you can see the remnants of a creature that has ransacked the pantry in the short time that you guys left the building. It might have been in there for a long time, actually. There's a lot of background noise in the city. It could have been anything.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys follow him, but George walks into the other room and then opens the door to the room that he saw.
Carla does. She'll just kind of like, as you're walking out the room, she'll motion at her eyes, like point over her shoulder, like looking at Sam, just like, what the hell was that?
You're saying that?
Like she's like mouthing it at Cyan. But yeah.
I'm like, you like, what the hell? I'm like, I don't know. I see a lot of weird stuff. I'm just not going to question that. Probably useful. Seems like useful. So it's probably fine. Do we also see the, like,
yeah,
the
so when
found a dead thing, right?
If everyone comes in, George, like, what you see is you see George walk into the room, and then he kind of looks at the door that's like a little ajar. If Carla left it ajar, the door out, and then he turns back towards the like pantry door and walks over really slowly, and he kind of puts his hand on the doorknob, and he like swings it open and like jumps backwards because he's expecting something to be there. And then he like, and then you both are probably watching him like, what the heck? And then he slowly looks into the door, and there's nothing there. And he's like, he just takes like a deep sigh of breath. He's like, I think there was something inside the pantry here, and he went taking off. And he kind of just looks out the door, and he's kind of just like staring out the door.
Look out the door. Carla will kind of like, go out the door, then see if she can see if, I don't know, if Topps tracked through something as he was rushing out the back or anything, or...
So with your previous roll with 9 on the outside, there may be a little snippet of his apron that's caught on the door as he like ran through it, maybe. But I mean, the whole place is kind of covered in junk anyway, so it's difficult to tell if he knocked anything over.
That's fair.
A lot of like the pavements are just like bits of scrap old corrugated iron that have come free that they've just put down. Like they've really just made the best of it in this area.
All right. I imagine she'll kind of like proceed, sort of like hand on the handle of her weapon, sort of proceed around. With something to jump out at her, or hopefully find Topps. Probably not yet.
All right, I guess if George sees that Carla is kind of like going out the back door and wandering off, he will kind of just turn back and then look into the pantry and just quickly look over and to see if he sees anything that looks like something valuable that would be missing, but it's probably just like everything that the guy has that's in that closet, right?
Yeah, essentially, the two most valuable things in this place are unfortunately the barrel of ale and the barrel of wine. There is like a cleaning rag and some cleaning fluid, but on closer inspection, it looks like polluted water and a dirty rag.
Okay.
There's no.
I guess.
There's no hygiene rating on the wall.
George closes the door then, and will look over at, I guess, Cyan and Juno if they're still standing there, and he kind of like shrugs, and then he'll walk towards the outside towards the back door and follow Carla. Actually, is there a broom or like something that could be used as a weapon that's in that room? Because I think George would grab something.
Sure, I'll tell you what, you can... I'd say for the duration of this game, since you've chosen post-apocalyptic, I think there's going to be a lot of junk around, so anytime you need to find something for a bludgeoning weapon, you can pretty much find it in a pile of dirt, be it a wrench or a broom handle that's broken or something.
Oh yeah, if there's a wrench in there, then I guess like George will he kind of, before he walks out the door, like sees a wrench on one of the shelves, and he grabs it and he's like, I might need this. And he like walks out the door and follows Carla.
Cyan, you're left in the bar with Juno. What are we gonna do?
I'm like, well, these people seem like they're about to get themselves in a whole lot of trouble. I'm gonna go with them. You don't have to come if you don't want. I can meet you later, or you can come.
There's a cat in the alley.
Yeah, it's the JRPG cat. There's always one. She's like, well, I could go and tell someone what we're up to.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, you know, I should come with you and everything, but like, just in case it all goes really south. I mean, we would hate to all be caught together. I should, you know, I should go and warn someone. She's clearly very nervous. Doesn't want to just
Juno's
back
the
out.
reason. Juno's the one who got Tops in trouble. Just kidding.
I knew it.
Yeah, no, just kidding.
I like pat Juno on the shoulder, and I'm like, I do dangerous stuff all the time. You know that, so it's fine. I'll be fine. I'll meet you at the usual place later. How's that sound? Right?
Okay. And she just like dives out the door like without any more like.
Bye.
She's been uncomfortable from the second she walked in. You know, like.
I'd be the worst best friend ever today. I dragged her into this weird dive bar. We immediately got accosted by a mercenary. But yeah, so I guess like meet the usual place. Finger guns. Whilst I like back out the door to follow the other two.
So, who would like to try and follow the trail? You can assist another person for one addition to their dice roll.
I mean, Carla's pretty motivated to find Tops. I think.
Yeah, it seems like Carla is, and I think George will help for sure, because George is like going out.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly like, well, I guess I got myself into this somehow, so I'm gonna help out. And plus, I am like a surveillance guard. I feel kind of a little obligated to help now that I know someone's missing, and after I saw that whatever happened, I'm feeling, and plus I don't normally get visions from like a tabletop. It usually has to be like tech items for him, so I think he's kind of like, oh, something bad happened. There's a reason he got that vision, so
I will help just because like I don't usually track people, but it's probably not that hard / different.
Are you saying that people are pests?
I mean,
they leave behind evidence of their existence.
Uh-huh. Yep. That is clearly something to define a species. That's not something that nearly everything does. So, okay, you guys, let's have that roll then. So it sounds like you've got 2 help from your teammates. Carla, what else can you add?
Yep. So I think probably still the same 2 from before, like the fact that it's Tops and locating, or maybe just a locating at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that...
So +4 then.
Okay. +4. 10.
On a 10, you have, I guess it's sort of like a sense. You tell me how it manifests. Essentially, you understand that Tops is hiding near one of the city walls.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine it's sort of, I imagine for Carla, it's not so much visual, it's sort of like voices in the head saying, like, details, just like, I don't know, like, first it's more generic, like stone, then wall, city wall, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It gets slowly more specific depending on how well she does.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So it'll start like homing in. You get the stone wall. Maybe you recognize a strut that's particularly noticeable that's been used in this section of wall that sort of leans over. Because the walls were thrown up really fast. They were one of the first things to be thrown up because of all the pests around.
Yep.
Yeah. So you essentially you know where he is.
Okay. Carla will be just like, all right. It kind of like head to her hand. I think I got it. I think I know where he is. All right. Should be by the city wall. Let's go, people.
How do you know that?
Yeah. Voices in my head. Let's go.
I feel like I kind of squint, and I'm like, well, how did you know there was something bad went down in the bar? Like, I definitely noticed.
Yeah, he kind of like just shrugs at you, and then he follows Carl, and he like tries to catch up with her, and he kind of like nudges her on the shoulder, and he's like, "When you said voices, did you really mean that you're hearing voices?"
Why would I lie about that? That's how it works.
I don't know. Some people say things, like voices in my head, but they're not like really voices in my head, you know?
It's a voice, just like you got your freaky eye thing.
So you got powers too?
Yeah, powers, instinct, I don't know.
I thought I
It's
was
the
the
job
only
done.
one. George was like, I thought I was the only one.
Lots of snowflakes in the world. You're never gonna be the only one.
He kind of like seems like he's a little bit more relaxed now.
And I think Carla's kind of like been sort
And then
of.
as we walk a little bit more,
forward.
George starts asking you questions. He's like, so the voices, like, do they come to you all the time, or do you have to like touch something for it to happen, or how
No.
does it work?
Well, I think of a person and then I hear stuff related to them. Helps me find them.
That's
Really
nifty.
useful tracking down people who try and skip out on bar tabs. Does not end well for them.
Is that directed at me?
I don't know. Do you think it was?
Question here is, did you pay the bathtub?
She
She did. Yeah, she did. She said she even tipped them.
You
Even though the wine was awful.
She's like, even though it's terrible, I'm gonna tip them because she's scared. She's afraid of
You tried. I don't want to anger your mercenary friend.
Okay, so you know where they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we're all headed that way.
Yeah.
Chatting what we want.
Jog, 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 jog.
And soon you can you go down a couple of alleyways to get there. It's all very sort of ransacked, where things have just been put up more based on flat surfaces than where things are, or at least flatter surfaces, as the ground's been quite churned up. So some things are just on like rough stilts and things like that. But as you get through these alleyways, you can see like a small shack, or lean-to really, against the main wall, and you can just see the side of Tops sticking out of it, and his just the bulk of him just like breathing up and down, like.
Okay, like Carla will, she's not gonna like yell out just in case there's something nearby. She's gonna kind of like bent over and squint down. Tubbs, what the hell? What are you doing here?
Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who else is
jeez.
gonna look for you, big ass?
Fair. Carla, you should have seen it. I don't know how long it been there, but it must have waited until you left to try and attack me. It tried to get in my brain. It tried to come and eat me alive.
In your brain, look, calm down. What was it?
It was like a little bear, but a big one, and it was glowing like green.
I'm like, it's Hey, sorry. Yeah, we never talked about what I did, but it's basically what I do for a living. It's like a raccoon, except it's a magic raccoon. They're bad news, but like, mostly they just want garbage.
Everyone looks at Cyan like, what?
I mean, they're weird, crazy magic raccoons. They're like huge, but they're still raccoons, you know. They just want garbage. You can like just throw garbage and they'll go for it. They're not really interested in you. You like effort to eat. Garbage is easy. You know? Yeah, no, yes.
Glowing raccoon. Sure, you know what? It's your job. I'll take your word for it. And then kind of like looking over at George, is that thing? Did you know that was in there? Is that what you were freaking out about?
I don't know what was inside of it. In my vision, what I saw was your friend Tops here walking around the corner, opened up the door, and he went booking it down the hallway or down the alleyway. I wasn't sure what he was running from. That's why I figured something might be inside of that closet.
He tried to get in my brain.
What do you mean it tried to get in your brain? Like,
It was telling me to give it all the good stuff. I wasn't gonna give it my ale, though. I ran.
I like squinted and I'm like, the raccoon was talking to you? I mean, I've dealt with a lot of these things and none of them have spoken to me yet. Does that happen to you frequently?
No, never. But it didn't specifically say the ale, but it said it wanted the good stuff.
Good stuff.
I mean, it's objective.
When
It's a
we-
raccoon, you
when we
know?
left the closet, did it look like it took anything that was in that closet?
It had been really ransacked, and a lot of the food, close to being food in there, was missing.
Was the ale missing?
The ale was not missing.
Okay. I don't know if it was after your ale. Didn't look like it took any of that, but I think it took everything else that you had in there. Well, anything that resembled food, maybe.
Oh.
Couldn't quite make out what was in there. It was quite a mess.
Dang it. I needed that stuff. And before you know it, you hear several other cries across the city as people in this district, at least, seem to be having encounters of the uncomfortable kind. The occasional cry out, and definitely the sound of rubbish sliding as things run.
Y'all hear any of that? I think someone was shouting.
The city is going to crap. What the hell?
My fault. But we could, I mean, Tops, you good? You okay? Go back to your bar? I think the raccoon is gone. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it wasn't in your closet anymore.
Because I think we're gonna, at least I'm gonna, because that's what I do for a living. I'm gonna go see about these crazy noises. Do you want to come? Otherwise, maybe you should go back to your bar.
You know what? My bar ain't gonna watch itself. I'm gonna head back. I gotta look after my ale. Anybody could steal it right now.
Yeah, you know, definitely there's a lot of people gonna want to steal that ale. So why don't you head back now?
I'm gonna have a go, like, and Carla will sort of affectionately pat him on the back, like, all right, go trot your rear home.
God, there ain't gonna be no more twatting, I don't mind telling you. That was hell. Ugh. My spleen hurts.
Oh yeah, you must have injured all your fat. Get out of here, you know.
And he starts, like, hobbling off. You guys have a moment alone together.
Boy, all right.
So you wanna go find more of these things? What's your plan?
I like kind of look at them for a second and I just like snap my fingers as a little fire and I'm like, the usual.
He kind of like backs up and he's like, "Whoa, you got them too?"
Yeah, I mean, it's not like nobody has them. You not met anybody before?
Look, not a lot of people in this, well, my part of town have anything like that going on. I thought I was the only one. Then she's talking about voices in her head. Now you can spawn fire from your fingers. That's nuts.
Yeah, some snowflakes make fire. They're still snowflakes. There you go.
I don't
Well,
know.
I guess
Sometimes
you
you
can-
run into people.
you might need a bigger one than that if you're gonna take care of whatever was in that closet.
Yeah, no, it's. I was just showing you. It can be more. I got this. I do this all the time. Why people pay me
All
the
right.
not really the big bucks, but you know, they pay me money.
Well, if you need some muscle, you help me, I scratch your back.
I mean, if you want to come,
I can try.
It's
I got this, and he like holds out a wrench, and he's still holding that bundle of something that he had underneath his arms.
It's at this point that a small. Eris, what would you call a group of raccoons?
a group of raccoons. There is an actual name for it, which I used to know, but I'm gonna Google it really quick.
I bet you hate it when people do this to you, right? You're a zoologist. You must know what the plural of this is.
Oh my
That's
god!
a yes. That's a yes.
Yes, that's true. But literally, I googled it and I knew that it was something stupid. It's some. A group of raccoons is some raccoons.
There are some
raccoons.
Brilliant.
there.
So
I'm sorry,
some
my cat just
raccoons.
knocked over a bunch of stuff. We'll be right back.
No worries. Some raccoons run past the alley. They are chased by a man and a woman. Oh, a sum, sorry, yes. A sum of raccoons are chased, they go past the alley. They are chased by an elderly man and woman, and by elderly, I mean they must be late 30s.
Is that what I think it is? And he's like looking down the.
I missed part of that, so I don't know. Is it?
There's a sum of raccoons that just ran past the alleyway that we were in and being chased by a couple, an elderly couple
No.
who are about 30 years old. So apparently we die young in this world.
Yeah, we're post-apocalyptic Logan's Run. Sorry. Okay, they're probably pushing 40 then. There you go.
Yeah,
Ripe old
okay.
age of 39.
About the time that, you know, a lot of medical infractions that we can currently really easily cure would start kicking in, but you can't really easily cure them anymore.
Okay. So that's what George says.
So I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else it would be. Some raccoons and some crazy old people. That part is not my specialty.
George will like raise his wrench that he has and start walking forward.
Yep. Carla will sort of like unbelt her weapon. Like she has like this big red bat that she's like a sword.
Nice.
Her belt will just kind of like put that over her shoulder and start walking over.
They literally chased it down the next alley. This sum of raccoons. And as you turn the corner, you can just about see the raccoons are diving through a hole in the city wall that wouldn't be quite big enough for a human to get through, but they're somehow squeezing their way through. All except for the last one, which is a bit weightier than the others, and it sort of gets stuck. And these, instead of trying to hurt it or kill it, these two older people, they're trying to pull it back into the city.
Yeah, I guess we'll follow.
I'll like run up. I'm like, hey, we want the raccoons to leave. What are you doing?
They took my boy!
Excuse me, what?
They took my boy!
That's new. They usually just want trash. Uh,
No.
I like
I
helping.
thought you said you were good at your job.
Excuse me, these raccoons are being weird. I mean, like extra weird. They're usually weird because they're magic, but you know.
Are you sure these are the raccoons you were fighting before? Maybe these are a different breed, you know? Like the rats we have in the sewer aren't the same rats that are sitting in my shower.
I mean, I don't know. They look the same. Anyways, I'm gonna like help the elderly people pull this raccoon out.
Okay, so I would like you to make me a roll for facing danger.
Facing danger.
Mm.
What do I roll?
2d6 plus your modifier.
Which modifiers would you think would fit in here?
For danger?
Yep, this is a dangerous situation. Yeah.
Probably free running because I like to climb tall buildings and shit.
Okay, so you could use it as an escape.
Or
Yeah.
magic pest control. I don't know.
Pest control makes sense.
Pest control makes a lot of sense. I could probably give you the free running as well. Like you could be pretty slippery because of that, I reckon.
Yes.
Yeah, some super dodgy. You're essentially like a grounded Human Torch at this point. So yeah, okay. So give me 2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2. Oh, I messed it up. I forgot to put space. There we go. 9.
Yeah, I'm making 9 a partial success. I think it's supposed to be 7 to 9 as a partial success. So you're gonna succeed in this facing danger, but something else is gonna happen as well. Either you lose a lead, so probably the way that you stop yourself from getting hurt is to in some way incapacitate the raccoon so it can't be properly investigated. The couple get hurt. Or you can investigate the creature, but it gets away.
I was gonna say my plan was to like grab it and throw it like away from us, so maybe the third one.
Okay, so you avoid receiving danger, but you throw the raccoon away, and it's gonna be able to escape.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cyan rushes up, grabs the raccoon, throws it away from the old people. It very quickly dives down another alley, and they're like, "No, oh! It took my boy."
But that one didn't actively have it, so maybe we should follow the other ones.
No,
hey,
they did it in the night. They all came. All the raccoons. They came and gathered outside our house. Yeah, it was terrifying.
Specifically your house?
Mm-hmm. Yep. He went out the window.
Okay, well, but that raccoon still, I'm standing by. That raccoon didn't have it, and they were all going that way.
Oh, they must have taken him back to their hive or their burrow or whatever the hell it is they got.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. But hey, George, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You said
Oh,
you
I'm
worked.
George, yeah.
You worked with the wall and everything, yeah.
Yeah, I work at the surveillance guard wall on the east.
What's the fastest way out from here? Because if the raccoon didn't fit through the hole, I don't think we're gonna fit through that hole. We should probably plug that. You should probably report that to someone, by the way.
He nods, and do I know where the quickest way, like where this might be leading to, or something like that?
Yeah. Would that be roll worthy? Do you think, or do you think you'd just know that?
It's up to you.
Let's give it a roll then. Why not?
All right.
I mean,
Oops. So surveillance probably, and maybe streetwise.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see, 11.
On an 11, yeah, you know there's a gate just two blocks away.
He kind of like looks around a bit, and then he kind of stares at some of like the structures that are on the side, and he's like, "Yeah, the around to the left, about 2 blocks away, there's another gate. Might be able to catch up with them there."
All right, well, they were running, so let's go, post haste. I like turn to the people and I'm like, hey, where do you live? We'll follow the raccoons and get back to you. Where are you gonna be?
Oh, we live up by the moisture evaporator.
All right, I know where that is. Will you stay put / go there? We'll follow the raccoons, but we're gonna go now before they get too far, and like backing away while I say this, like that way. You go.
All right, okay. And they'll comply. If anything, they look relieved that someone else is handling this problem, but also very concerned for their son still.
Understandable.
But perhaps it probably helps that George, you're on your way home from work, right? So maybe George has something signifying him as a person on the wall. Maybe. Do you think that's likely, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably has like his. I don't know what would they have? Maybe like a little badge that they like pin on. That's it. Yeah, he'll pull out of his pocket his pin and he pockets the wrench and pulls that out instead and kind of shows it to flashes it to the lady and he's like, "Ma'am, we'll do what we can, and if the three of us can't figure it out, I'll make sure that this Phelan's crew knows, and we'll see what the gods have seen."
All right, thank you. I feel much better knowing the guards are looking into it. I thought they didn't care.
I mean, they're working hard every day, ma'am. Mostly on them fire hyenas that are over in the north, but if there's something going on in town, we'll figure it out.
It's understandable. Thank you.
Yeah, he kind of like pats her and kind of motions them both to like get a move on, nods at the fellow, and puts his badge back and takes back out the wrench.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so cool. So you know where the gate is?
Yep,
what's
we're
your
going
plan?
to the gate. Go to the gate.
That's free. You can go to the gate. You can head to the gate easily. Travel in this game isn't a problem.
Yeah, so when we get to the gate, I guess, what do we see?
So at the gate, you can see that it is locked. It's watched by a guardman. There's they sort of like slide apart like that sort of thing, so they like fall back together. You can see outside as well through a window this desolate plain, this arid landscape. Sort of like you can see the occasional pipeline and stuff where new attempts have been made at dredging up wells and things like that with the latest technologies and pumps and things, but mostly it looks like dry wilderness out here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll like tug on this like pulley lever that's on the left-hand side that like goes up to the bell tower thing at the top, and kind of tug on that, and then I'll shout into this like weird looking cup thing that is like the way that we communicate up to the top of the belt to the tower. And I'm like, can I see who is up there? Can I tell who's up there?
You wouldn't, but you can see these big like jam jar style glasses reflecting off of the inner window, and so you can tell this is probably Jeff.
Okay. Jeff, is that you up there?
How do you always know it's me?
The goggles, they're kind of giving away. You're the only one that wears them damn things.
I swear they make me see better.
I really don't think they make you see better, but whatever helps you, hon. Look, we need to get through the gate. If you can just open it for a second, we'll be right back out.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. There's been a lot of movement out there today. A lot of wilderness moving around.
Yeah, speaking of which, there's something going on in town. Some weird dire raccoons or something like that.
Could be. I saw some glowing creatures running up north.
Yeah, well, we should probably get the others looking into that. Gotta get them out of the town if they are, and there's a hold 2 blocks down to the right. Something's going on.
I thought we blocked that up a couple of weeks ago.
Apparently it's been opened up again.
God damn it.
Guess we'll wait.
I'll open the door.
And after a couple of minutes, you can hear like the winching sound of a winch being manually turned.
It's like...
Yeah, and the doors like slide apart.
like the old crickety. Yeah, we like it doesn't have to be opened all the way. We kind of like slide in, or like at least George will like slide in as soon as there's enough space for him, and then he'll kind of like offer his hand to help the next person through.
Yeah, you can all pass through out here.
I'll shout up at Jeff. We're out, Jeff. Close it on up.
And the gates just like it's like the tension's released and they just
Slam shut. Yeah. With the slam of the gate, George kind of looks back and he's like, and he kind of like takes a big breath because normally he's just in the surveillance room, not out and like outside of the gate, and he kind of looks to the others and he's like, well, what's next?
I'm gonna go find some raccoons and maybe some kid. I don't know. You guys coming with? Obviously, I guess you are.
Yeah.
Carla's been very quiet on this front.
Yes, because Carla's internet has been very unstable.
Oh no.
What's this newfangled internets you're talking about? I ain't never heard of anything like that. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you need a recap?
Yeah. So I know we're out of the gates. That I know that just happened. The people, their son's missing, apparently taken by the raccoons. If anything happened in between that, I have no idea.
That's all that really happened.
Yeah.
There was a
Okay.
conversation with Jeff to open up the gate. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, Jeff's a good nut. He's a good guy.
Cool. All right. So Carla would be like, "Yeah, no, we definitely need to find that kid. On the off chance that perhaps the parents will pay us."
I don't think it matters if they pay us or not. Kid is being taken away by some raccoons. We better figure out why they're taking him.
Hey,
And make sure they
hazard
can't do
pay
it
is a
again.
thing. Hazard pay is a thing. Yes, tragic kid taken. We fix it. We get. I feel a little bit of coin is only fair.
I'm
But
like,
they-
I feel like that's the kind of thing you discussed beforehand. So if that's like important to you, I guess you don't have to keep helping us, but I'm gonna go find that kid.
It just involves what we like to call in the business post negotiations hazard pay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Either way, we gotta go find him.
All right. So I guess we're gonna start tracking these raccoons.
Okay, so who's rolling? Who's helping?
I'll help, but I shouldn't probably roll. I'm not a tracker.
Yeah, we're now at the point with the raccoon, so I think Cyan should be probably.
Yeah. And I feel like my magic pest control would be useful here. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that anything else would be. So +3.
+3, yeah.
Oh wait, +3. I thought you just said magic pest control.
Yeah, but you guys are helping, right?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense. I was like, where'd the other two come from?
12.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
So the trail leads very much around to the southeast of the wall, and it leads up to the north and to the eastern side, heading north, before it breaks away towards a set of small hillocks nearby.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we.
So we keep following.
Yeah, we keep following him.
Yeah. Well, you once you get to these hillocks, you can hear movement of these creatures around. or some creatures at least, clawed creatures, scribbling across the dirt out here.
Always got our bat ready.
So are we? I mean, are we trying to find like? I mean, they're around, but are we trying to find their like burrow or den? I guess if I can think of dens. That's what I'm gonna try to do.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So as you cleft a rise, you can see over the way there is a sort of like a tunnel network, and atop this, on a rock in front of these two tunnels, a boy is sat cross-legged.
Just sitting there.
There are raccoons going into the tunnels and the raccoons coming out of the tunnels. The raccoons going in look like they are carrying things like much sought after meats and sweets, things like that. You know, things that are tasty and absolutely bad for you. And coming out, they're not really carrying anything. Several of these raccoon creatures are sitting in front of this boy, glowing. Their brains are glowing a blue color.
That's unusual. I'm like gonna walk up to the kid and be like, "Hey, your mom and dad are kind of worried about you."
When he turns to look at you, he opens his eyes, and his eyes are completely black.
Whoa.
That's also highly unusual. Like, I'm not gonna take a step back, but I'm not gonna get any closer either.
So you're saying like these raccoons are normally green, but for some reason the ones that are around him are all glowing blue?
Just like their cranium.
Just their head is glowing blue. Okay.
Now I feel so much better.
Yeah. I guess I'll just observe for now, but I was just curious. I just wanted clarification on that.
The boy's mouth opens. He's probably about 12, 14. You know, not young, but not old enough to start working yet. He needs at least another year.
That's middle-aged, man.
Yeah, he needs at least another year. You know, like.
Hey, if you live to be 40, then
Gets that working age.
he's middle-aged.
But yeah, he sort of turns to look away and says, "You cannot have the boy. We need him."
Oh, that's not okay. This is very well. I'm like turning to them. I'm like, this is not usually happen. Usually they're just kind of giant raccoons that eat trash.
George is kind of freaking out now, and George is like, "What do you mean? It's not normal for these weird raccoon creatures to be talking through a young boy? Yeah, that's weird. I would say that's definitely weird. This whole situation we're in is weird."
I mean, weird stuff happens a lot. Where do you live? Weird stuff happens a lot around here, okay? So this is just extra weird. And I'm like, okay, person thing, a raccoon who's talking through the boy. Why do you need the boy? Can't you just do raccoon things by yourself?
He knows the locations of all the good stuff. And he knows your language so we can communicate.
I mean, do you normally need to communicate with people? I mean, normally I just throw trash and you guys leave. It's a pretty good relationship we have. Why do we need to change it?
You only give us the bad stuff.
Well, okay, yeah, because it's our stuff. You can if you're smart enough to abduct this kid, why can't you can, I don't know, learn to farm?
What?
Are you negotiating with these creatures and asking them to farm? They're raccoons.
They're talking
Siam,
raccoon.
these are raccoons.
They talk, I don't know.
I ain't never seen a coon do anything other than steal.
Okay, well, maybe we can prevent them from doing that, and they can live in peace, and we can
George kind of walks up and is like, How can we prevent you from stealing from us?
How is that better than what I was doing? Well, anyways, raccoon guy.
George is not like he's not like a charismatic diplomatic person.
Kyla's kind of just waiting for this to go awry so she can start hitting things.
You stole
Does it
from us
respond?
in the first place. These things
I
were
ain't
not.
stealing nothing from no one. I work hard for my money and to pay for everything that I've got.
These things are not from farms. He gestures towards the creatures going in, and they're carrying like packaged items. You know, they've got like Twinkies that have clearly been like found from like old factories and stuff like that. You took them from our burrows.
Took them from your burrows. Look, I ain't never leave that gate. I ain't took nothing from you.
You're kind then.
So you're gonna punish all of us for something someone did?
Once we have enough for winter, we will let you be.
But what about us? What about our winter? What about the things that we need to survive?
You guys will also all know that there hasn't been a winter since the nuclear strikes, whenever it was, like decades ago.
Yeah, but he's just saying in general needing to survive.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, but we're backing up here. Backing it up here. You can talk now, right? With this kid. You can just ask nicely to the kid to help you, I guess. And then ask for things instead of taking them. That's how, since you're talking now you have to be part of society. And you ask for things when you need them.
We do not talk to bargain. We talk to warn.
To warn. No. I'm like, if it's gonna be a fight, I'm gonna win the fight. Okay? I fight bigger things than you.
Do not end up like them. And it gestures over, and it points out two like sort of like wrapped up like sacks. Not like a web sack or anything, but just like two very corpse shaped looking piles of rubbish.
Those were probably regular people, okay? Most people not good in a fight. Some people, they're good in a fight. And I'm gonna do the finger thing again and be like, I am very, very good in a fight.
Carla's doing the tap that in the hand.
knock on wood before she fails her roll with her fight.
So yeah, I'm gonna need a persuade / intimidate, convince, if you will. Sounds like we've already got help from Carla. George, were you helping there? Sorry.
I mean, George was just trying to figure out like what's going on, right? Like, I don't know if what he said would be helping or not.
It's up to you guys.
Well, that's all he had said. So you tell me if that was helping with intimidating or not.
I'd probably say not so much.
Okay.
So, Cyan, you've got a +1 already. Or is there anything else you would like to add to that?
I assume the +1 I already have is for the pyromancer. I don't know since I'm intimidating them. Or what?
Yeah, no, you would have got one from Carla, who's like doing the whole tough guy act behind you.
Yeah.
You've got your fire powers, so that'll be 2.
And then pest control, 3 probably, right?
They're definitely pests.
Yeah.
Definitely pest. Let's try this.
You should have brought Juno with. Juno could have been your bonus.
I don't know how intimidating Juno is.
3s across the board.
She could have just said some stuff. She could have been just like, yeah, I saw her kill a cockroach. No, I'm just kidding.
That'll really scare him off.
Yeah.
So yeah, on a 9 is another success with a consequence. So you convince them. Are you trying to convince them to give up the child, or to stop stealing?
Oh, that's a good. Well, let's see. Because where did the conversation go? The conversation was like, "Hey, you could just ask for stuff you need," and they're like, "No, we don't do that." And I was like, "Bitch, you're gonna do that. That's how this works. Otherwise, I'm gonna beat your ass."
Okay, so,
So I guess I'm trying to threaten them into being civil.
trying to threaten them to
Yeah, well, I guess to give the kid back, because I'm like, if you want the kid to talk for you, you have to ask. You can't just kidnap the kid.
be. Okay, so I reckon they will respond amenably. There's yes. Okay, we can enter talks about stealing.
Yeah, like maybe there's something you have skills, presumably besides stealing things / possibly stealing things can be like turned into a useful skill and not one that annoys people. And then like you could be like, oh, we have these skills in exchange for our skills, you'll give us food and stuff. And then you can like, if the skills are useful, you can be like, but specifically we want these kinds of foods and not garbage.
Yes. Okay, we agree to these terms, but we keep the boy as our negotiator.
Well, I mean, have you asked him about this? How does he feel about this, raccoons? I'm not necessarily opposed to him helping you.
He is part of the collective now. He is happy.
Can he stop being a part of the collective for a second so we can talk to him?
That sounded ominous.
Yeah, George is like going back and standing next to Carl, and he's like, I ain't never seen someone negotiate with some coons. I do not think that this is gonna go very well. They want to keep the boy.
Yeah, this seems like a bad thing. Cyan may be good at pest control, supposedly, but negotiator, Cyan is not.
I guess George will step forward and be like, look, we're gonna need that boy, so what can we give you instead?
Maybe, do you guys understand the concept of writing?
The boy understands.
Okay, but you're like intelligent enough to steal this kid. Are you intelligent enough to learn to write without him?
George looks at Cyan again like, what?
Normally I just fight with them. This is not like within my realm of expertise exactly. I mean, they're raccoons, but that's all I've got here that I'm going with. But anyway, yeah, raccoon people, guys. Could you theoretically learn to write?
If the boy leaves the collective, we will become less smart.
That seems problematic.
I think I figured out why you said you didn't have very much money to spend on liquor.
Hey, excuse you. Again, normally I'm not gonna say it for a raccoon. Normally we just fight, okay? He's not normally talking. Most animals don't talk.
I don't know why that was not the solution in this case.
I don't want to hurt the kid. He's like in the middle of everything. Anyways, we're gonna go back.
Look, I ain't leaving without the boy. That's what George says.
But we need the boy. He is part of the collective.
What if we give you something else instead of the boy?
What could you give us?
Well, what else would you want? There's gotta be something out there that you think is valuable.
Yes, we need one of you in the collective. We'll trade the boy for one of you.
Oh, it doesn't have to.
Sounded bad.
Maybe. How about? No, I don't. I don't think anybody would volunteer to join the raccoons. That seems like a thing. I was assuming it was the kid specifically, and not that you guys just stole a random kid.
um, Carla's gonna kind of like grab Cyan by the collar. All right, look, you got 2 jobs. You go drink at the Broken Table every night, and you make sure that kid goes to theater school.
Theater school?
All right, you glowing freaks. Me for the kid. Let's go.
George is kind of like surprised and like turns back.
Okay, so they confer for a second and go, yes, you are much bigger, therefore wiser than the boy. We will gladly make this change.
Cyan's like, well,
I'm just imagining like sentient raccoons being like, yes, you are bigger. We will exchange you. This is clearly a better deal for us.
I'm gonna like pull Carlos aside, like, hey, I was like trying to trick them to give us the kid. I didn't actually expect them to like take
I
it.
imagine you're like trying to pull her, but you're actually just kind of like ineffectually tugging on her arm and just creeping up and whispering in her ear finally. Look, negotiations have failed.
Okay,
And then like kind of whispering to you, you want to set them on fire after I'm part of it? Fine, whatever. But I'm serious about the theater thing, and I'm serious about the Broken Table. You gotta promise me.
okay, but maybe let's try a different plan.
No.
Try to keep the
Your
kid
plan
away.
didn't work. Your plan did not work. We do it my way now.
Okay, but we don't actually have to give you to them. We just pretend we're going to, and then
George is trying to like help get the boy now so that like we can do the exchange.
They basically form a circle around the boy, and they all start like bobbing their heads around, and essentially they request that that Carla is swapped with the boy.
Yep. Nope. Carla goes into it just like, all right, let's go. Bat re-seathed at her side, and she goes.
So yeah, the boy, his eyes sort of like pale and whiten. He steps away from the raccoons.
George like steps forward to help grab the boy.
Which is handy because he immediately faints.
Okay. Yeah, George like catches him and is like, "It's gonna be all right, little one. We'll get you back home." And as he's like carrying the kid, he kind of looks at Carla and like does like a nod.
Now, Carla, you are entering this this group of raccoons. You're a bit more willful than a teenage boy. They're trying to take over your mind.
Ooh.
You can let them, but you can also influence them.
Oh, can I?
Do it.
Yes. It's my collective now.
So essentially what I'm thinking is we'll have some sort of roll. On a success, you can do whatever you like with the collective. On a fail, they will become that sort of... how would you describe it? That sort of affectionate, aggressive that Carla was to the beginning of the episode. You know, their negotiations will be very, you know, you're gonna give this to us. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a win-win to me. Okay, trying to think what would apply in this case. I don't know. Well, Carla is like a patron of the art, so she's seen a lot of plays. She's seen a lot of different persuasive.
You're good
speeches.
at acting. You could act like you're
So
getting.
maybe perhaps that's influenced it.
Yeah. I'm totally on board with that. Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Perhaps there's some intimidating animals in somewhere in her body art that's visible. That perhaps it's.
We'll take it. You've not used it so far. Why not? Yeah, okay, that's +2.
Yeah. I think those would be the
And
two.
your friend. Maybe like if you keep him in your mind, then he can
Oh, that's
keep you
true.
from
Yeah.
like
That
you
one
know.
thing that keeps it keeps Carla, maybe?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's a +3.
Cool. Yes. Come on, no whammies. Actually, again, either way, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, either way it's fun.
Oh, bam. Okay,
Nice. 13.
so the collective is now yours to control.
I think that's the highest roll we've had.
It's got to be close. Now, when the boy sort of had a small influence over them, they were just collecting sweets and stuff and everything that the boy treasured. How does Carla affect the collective? This gang of thieves, essentially, with mental powers and raccoon claws.
Hive mind.
Oh, well, I think the first thing, I think what they would steal first would actually be a bunch of different, they mostly go in, like, scoundrel dens and steal, like, different cheaty stuff. Like, like loaded dice, and things like that. So with that, and probably some, like, flyers from new plays and everything. So cheating and theater. That's what's going to be the raccoon's new focus.
So, essentially, again, I
There's
guess...
just a table of raccoons that are sitting at the bar now, and they're fucking gambling.
So, yeah, so the way I'm seeing this is that, they all suddenly split. They were all organised and everything, and they all just suddenly split and start stampeding towards the town.
George is like holding the boy, looking back at Cyan and looking back at Carl, and he's like, "That was not part of the plan. What?
No, I was gonna torch him, but
Torch them now
We
while they're running towards the town."
agreement. It is no longer your concern.
okay, yeah, no, but it's still my concern. This is
We are happy. You
Yeah,
have
okay.
the boy.
yeah, okay, but
You
what
agree.
are they gonna do? Are they gonna make other people unhappy? Because then somebody's gonna pay me to get rid of them.
I would not suggest attacking us. That would be unwise.
I still feel like that's a fight I could win. Crazy
Hands
lady.
at the bat.
And she's like holding the
Right.
boy, and she's like, and George is like, yeah, I think you should do that fire thing right about now.
We think that's a bad idea.
What are you
She's
gonna
one of
do
them
about
now.
it? You have a bat. I have fire.
We are not going to hurt anybody.
Okay, but what are you gonna do? Is it gonna cause people to hire me to fight the raccoons? Because I'll just do it now if it is going.
George
to
is
go
like
that.
watching as the raccoons are getting closer and closer to the town.
We think that sounds like a you problem.
Okay, well, and then in that case, I'm gonna turn around and start running after raccoons. Fire time.
The collective, being Carla, represented by Carla, will basically
The
kinda
collective? The
the
collective?
collective.
The collective. The collective.
will kind of like, just sort of like armbar, Cyan.
I am very.
Oh, that seems like that's gonna be an imposed roll.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm gonna post.
It's definitely going to be an opposed roll. I think narratively you get an extra thing of the collective as a plus.
Yes.
So we've got the collective at least there in your role.
And I think maybe just from all like jobs and like training and everything, perhaps mercenary would count.
Yeah, why not? This is against a person. Yeah, why not?
Yep.
So that's two for Carla. Why don't you roll that, and that'll be setting our DC essentially.
Sure. Not very.
Way to roll higher than a 6. You can do this.
Yeah.
I got at
Cyan, you
least
can
plus
do it.
1 for the free running because I'm very.
Yep.
Athletic.
That makes sense. And pest, because now she's part of like the pest crew.
Carla
Yeah.
is officially a pest.
Carla-
Okay.
Yeah.
This is what Carla
I'm
gets
so
for
hurt.
earlier.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Got it.
So funny.
So it's close then. It's
Barely, yeah.
really
She's
close.
like holding you. You're like barely able
But
to
they're
get
really
out.
low rolls as well, so this is more of like a clusterfuck than a close fight, you know?
There's like some shin kicking, and I'm like, huh.
But yeah, Eris, Cyan can break away.
All right, and then I'm going to try and fireball some raccoons.
Okay.
Yes. With that,
I guess it's probably just +1 for the fact that I have fire powers.
Yeah, sure.
And the pest thing, because that's part of like what's
Yes,
happening.
that's true.
That's your literally this is part of your profession is to get rid of whatever this problem is that we're having right now.
This is my preferred method of getting rid of pests. It's
I
just
look forward to figuring out how you deal with the collective. I have to go though.
Aw.
Great being there.
Thank you so much, Alicia.
All right, see you,
No
Alicia.
problem. Catch you later. I cannot wait to see the end of this later.
Oh my god,
I'll
so
see you
good.
later on.
Right, let's find out. Ooh, I still just squeaking by.
Yeah, we're squeaking by, that's for sure.
Squeaking by. Mousestroke goes away for one episode. Okay, so now a 10 is a success. A 10 is a solid success. You were trying to set fire to the fleeing
The fleeing raccoons.
Yeah. Okay.
How I normally do that.
So yeah, there's no consequences to this. You just start lighting them up. They start lighting them up, and as you do so, the collective behind you sort of roars with rage, and they're going to also make an attack against you. They're going to try and take over your mind.
Oh gosh.
Your cat is so funny because like every time you look back, he's like, "I'm not doing anything, Mom."
I
And
can
then
hear
as soon
him
as you
scratching up my.
he like mosh pits, and as soon as you look at him, he's like, he just like lays down. He's like, "I didn't do anything," and then as soon as you look back, he's going nuts behind you. It's the funniest thing ever. I've
So-
just been watching this the entire time. Like, this is good. Like the last 3 times you look back, he was like, "I'm fine.
I'm a good boy.
I'm good. I'm great, Mom." But he's really going nuts like 2 seconds before. Oh my gosh.
All right.
So I'm not going to roll against you this time. This time it will be another face danger as they try and take over your mind.
Okay. Can't stop scratching that up. It's something. Am I still adding? I added +2 last time I had to face danger.
I don't know if free running would help you against a mental assault.
Yeah, I think just the pest thing would be the only thing.
Yeah, I
Right.
reckon.
Unless what else do you have? You have 5 things or whatever. I don't know what your 5 things.
I have magic pest control, compulsive collector, my best friend Juno, free running, and pyromancer.
Yeah, it's only really the one makes sense for your mental.
Maybe happy thoughts of my best friend Juno. I want to return. I told her that I would come back.
Yeah, well, I'll give it to you. That's +2.
Ooh.
9. That's a success,
That
but
is a
it's like
success.
with something. It's like a failure with it.
The success here is that you'll withstand the mental assault. But I think the condition is that there's going to be like splash damage. It's going to like radiate off you and affect maybe some of the badgers around you. The raccoons around you, but also George. Sorry,
I was gonna say
I'm
what
making
George would be doing, what I would like to be doing with George, because they were all doing a bunch of stuff. Like they were battling and stuff. I think George would be booking it with the little boy to bring him back to the town and try to get the gate
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, okay. So that's absolutely fine. So,
But I don't know if that, like, I know that I didn't get to say anything. I just didn't want to interrupt,
Yeah.
like, what was happening between Carla and
no, that's
Sia.
totally fine. We can have like a retrospective roll for you running back with the boy.
Yeah, because they're all distracted, like, doing that. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to get any bonuses to this because I literally am a nerd who sits in a surveillance room the entire time, so I don't think I get anything from that. So, 2d6, here we go. 9.
9. Okay, so it is a partial success. You do this, but you're going to lose your mobility. You'll get all the way back to town, but you're going to be so knackered that your feet are going to be worn out, and like you're going to be out of stamina. How's that?
Okay, so I'm like exhausted type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so guessing any other physical things I try to do is not going to go that well. Yeah, I get up to the gate and I'm like, Jeff, open her up, Jeff. Open her up real quick. I got this, boy. We got to get in. There's a whole bunch of coons out there, and boy, we don't want them getting in.
The cones are on fire.
Hurry up, Jeff. This ain't no time for you having a conversation back and forth. Get that gate open right damn now.
Okay, George. It's like you hear it.
Yeah, as soon as even there's a sliver open, I'm gonna like kind of slide the boy and like try to get my way, and I'm like, close her up, Jeff.
So Cyan's stuck outside now?
Well, I mean, we could open the gate again, but
Flaming raccoons?
So the flaming raccoon, Cyan. What are you going?
I'm guessing that's as far as I got before it goes back to your guys' scene.
Yeah. So Cyan, the flaming raccoons. I think the condition is going to be, since you're alone, that they're going to immobilize you, so you can't run.
Like they're just in the way, or like I now have flaming raccoons on me, because those are two very different scenarios.
Like the surrounding.
Yeah, I think surrounding.
Okay.
One of that, and these. Maybe you should buy us a drink.
Oh, is Carla still part of the collective?
The collective, yeah.
Collective. No, I did that already. I'm not buying anybody any more drinks. It's got me in a shit ton of trouble.
Yeah, but you only bought me a drink. What about all my friends?
They're raccoons. I feel like alcohol's probably bad for them. And anyways, they're on fire now. Alcohol and fire don't mix.
It's true, a lot of them are hurting. Why don't you heal them?
No. That's literally the opposite of my job. I tried to be nice. I tried.
Did you?
Now I'm gonna be nice. Yeah, I suggested you could like become a part of society and useful members of society, and people wouldn't want to kill you, but now you're just extra crispy pests.
We're still being part of society.
I
People
said
need
useful part of
jobs.
Society. Useful was the key word.
Well, excuse me, I got a raccoon in my brain at the minute, and we didn't realize the keyword was useful. We're gaining assets. We're entrepreneurs.
No, you're raccoons. Crazy glowy raccoons, but you're still raccoons.
Are you trying to convince them to parlay still?
No, I'm just yelling at them because I'm pissed and I can't go anywhere. And I'm like hoping that maybe George is gonna send some reinforcements or something. Like maybe George saw me getting surrounded by flaming raccoons and was like, that Cyan person seems like they could use some help too.
George, why don't we pan back across to you?
Yeah, George is like picking up the boy and he's like, Jeff, you need to round up the peeps. We got some pests we need to take care of. But first, I gotta get this boy home. And I'm gonna take the little boy home and hope that Jeff gathers the troops first.
So like,
while I'm away.
as you start running away, you sort of hear like the air,
The siren thing, the bell.
sort of like noise going up. It starts going up all the way around, and people begin gathering at the gates with pitchforks. This is usually their defense thing, you know, like we're being raided.
Yeah.
get to the weak points, and people have got like pitchforks and like wrenches and just anything they can find.
Okay. I don't know how long that's going to take and how long it's going to take me to take the boy back to his family.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. So, Cyan, the I've got to stop trying to call them badgers. I'm Britishizing it myself. We don't have raccoons. We just have badgers.
Badgers are not raccoons.
Well, specifically European badgers are a lot nicer than raccoons. American badgers are horrifying, but anyways, continue.
Yeah. So the raccoons, they're going to dive at you and attack you with claws and teeth and stuff. We don't want to be part of society. We're gonna transcend society. We'll make you all the collective. The collective.
The collective.
I don't like have any other weapons besides just lighting them on fire. I'm like, how long does it take a raccoon to burn to death?
So we can do a go toe-to-toe. You can try and combat them with fire instead of trying to face danger.
Sure.
Obviously the benefits are different in that you can actually take some of them out rather than just surviving. How would you like to do it?
Sure, let's do, instead of facing danger, let's actually fight them.
Okay.
Okay. So obviously if I'm fighting them with fire, I can add one for pyromancer.
You can indeed.
They're like literally attacking me, right?
Uh-huh.
Can I use free running because I'm like speedy and agile?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yep.
Dodging.
Mirror's Edge. Yeah, why not?
They're still pests.
They are
So
still
there's
pests.
Magic pest control. I don't think I can use best friend or compulsive. I mean, maybe I could use best friend as a, like, as they're attacking me, I could be like, but Juno's waiting for me.
Unfortunately, I'm not gonna allow the Juno one, but I'll give you the other three.
There we go. Okay.
I'd have been more likely to give you collective on the basis that they are a collection. Like,
I'm trying to collect them.
My trophy this time will be like, instead of a rabbit's foot, I have a very toasty raccoon foot. But it's like huge. And people are like, what the hell is that?
So this is a great success. You're gonna gain the upper hand. You're gonna you have a choice of either securing a secure position or really hitting them hard and making it count. If you don't secure a position, then they may be able to make an attack back on you.
I feel like I'm still hopeful that there's some kind of people are going to be coming.
Can she hear the siren at all, or use a discern realities to see if she can hear the siren?
Probably about now you start hearing the siren pick up from the town. It wasn't that far away.
So I'm like, okay, probably somebody's coming to help me now. So I'm going to secure a position as in like, well, I'll just hold on until some people show up with pitchforks.
I mean, you look around and you probably notice that George is not there.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to secure my position. I beat the shit out of some raccoons. Maybe some of them have burned to death by now.
Oh yeah, you definitely got some of them. You've got the upper hand. You're controlling this fight.
I'm going to secure a position, and I'm ready for some people to show up with pitchforks.
Okay, yeah, you've got the upper hand. The raccoons are desperately trying to attack you, but you are waylaying them with fire and stuff. There's several crispy raccoons around you now. The blue ones though, they're all staying together near Carla.
It seems like a problem I'm going to deal with when there's more people here. Like when people show up, I'm going to have some of them take care of these ones and be like, those ones though are the important raccoons. Glowy ones, extra glowy ones, normally glow.
Okay, so let's say they rock up around now. George, do you reckon you'd be with them, or would you tail on after the people who have grouped up?
It depends on if they're gonna leave without me before do I get back in time? Because I'm gonna take the boy to his family first.
I reckon you can take the boy to the family first. They're very grateful. I think the only ones that are going to leave are the ones near Jeff's watchtower. Because Jeff will convey to them that they need to go and help out. So maybe only one group will leave, and you can see the other gates are just stocked up with people that aren't doing anything.
Okay. You mean the gate on like the other side, like the west side instead of the east side or whatever?
Yeah, they go for the east gate. They were going along the east wall, so...
Okay. So this is a different gate then?
Yeah, it'd be a different gate. So the Jeff's gate, they'd be going because Jeff can communicate to them what's going on, but your cup and wire thing doesn't go all the way to the next gate. So the next gate, they're all just sort of standing there like, well, there must be an attack.
Yeah. I wander up to the gate and I'm like, what y'all standing around doing nothing for? We need to get out there. There's a whole bunch of coons.
Get out there. We're supposed to be defending the city.
Yeah, they were gonna come this way if we don't take care of them while they're out there. Better that we take care of them while they're on the other side of the gate before they get on this side of the gate.
All right. I answered the call. I'm here to help. I was just questioning, that's all. Don't be taken advantage of. Okay, well, let's go. Let's go see what's going on.
Yeah, and he'll like kind of lead everyone over to where the ridge is where all of them are.
Mm-hmm. So
actually, a bunch of them were running towards here, but then I guess they stopped whenever she was throwing fireballs at them.
Oh yeah, that was a great success. So all the ones that started running just incinerated. Hence why they started focusing on her.
Yeah.
So
there's just like burnt creatures everywhere.
You would see from the east gate, you would see that this other small group that were gathered by Jeff's gate have run out to join Cyan. Cyan, this group join you with these limited reinforcements. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna like be like, well, all the raccoons around me are like crispy and dead, right? The only raccoons are the ones lived by Carla. I'm gonna be like, see the glowy raccoons? They're bad news. They're gonna talk. Don't listen to them. Just kill them. Try not to kill I'm not at this point. She's not very nice. But let's try not to kill any people. But get the raccoons. They're bad news. Let's go. I'll like lead them over. Hopefully they come with me.
Can you give me a convince roll, please?
Okay. Let's see. Most of these are not useful. Could I maybe use the magic pest control? They're like, would any of them recognize me as being like, hey, that's the lady who kills magic things?
Why not? I'll give you that.
So +1.
+1.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah, no. So as they go to try and the badgers turn around and start talking to them, and before you know it, let's call it 6 people who came out of Jeff's gate and Jeff all turn around also with black eyes. You are trying to harm the collective.
Stop that, Carla.
They're like, Carlective.
George, as you are running up, you see this happen. You have a larger group, but they too have several people and badgers now. What would George be trying to do? Yeah,
you keep saying badgers.
I keep saying badgers. I'm stuck on it now. I'm so stuck on it. The raccoons and the people.
I look around and I'm like, keep your wits about you. Them things, they be taking away, well, everything that you are in your mind. They want to control us, but we can't let them, all right? We got to take care of our families. We got families back home. Remember that. No matter what. That's what we're here for. Ready? Kind of like looks around at everybody.
Could you also give me a convince roll, please?
All right. Since they're all part of my surveillance crew, could I get a bonus for that?
Yes. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I guess I don't really have anything else I can add to this.
Well, you did mention about having family at home, so you could use your grandfather, maybe.
Okay. I was thinking about that, but I didn't know if that would be stretching it, so I didn't say it.
That's okay. I'm going to take it straight back away again, because you're also exhausted. So, still just +1.
Good point, sir. Yeah, I guess that's it. Well, could Streetwise be a thing in here? Because, like, you know, I know how to talk to people.
Yeah, okay, why not?
All right. 12?
Boom. Okay, so these people, they rallied. They are inspired. They are pepped to the pep talk. And they charge in and, they promptly kill the badgers. They overcome the badgers' spells as they just like
raccoons.
The raccoons. They just like start stabbing away at the raccoons, and the raccoons are trying to mind meld them, and they're just stabbing away.
Oh, getting killed by like a pitchfork sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably is pretty bad. But like I'm sort of seeing it like the new Fallout 76 advert, you know, with like the happy music on, like anyway. Unfortunately, everyone who was taken by the raccoons,
There's one dude with like headphones on, and it's connected to like a CD player, and he's just playing like some music on the CD player.
Just like the one track that he's got that survived the years.
Yeah,
so,
just playing over and over again.
Everyone who was taken by the raccoons, everyone who had black eyes, they immediately faint to the floor. But the raccoons seem to be dealt with. The remaining raccoons around that didn't have blue glowing skulls, they're running away.
I like run over to check on the people who like fell over.
They're breathing shallowly.
I kind of like shout out to people who are like around, and whoever's looking, I'm like, I think they're gonna be all right. Seems like they're breathing. Well, I guess we'll probably take them back. You group, help me carry some of these.
Cool people.
Yeah, and then George will kind of try to figure out if he can find where Carla and Cyan are in this mess of people. Because he wants to see if they're okay.
Yeah. So you will find Carla slumped on the rock.
I'm guessing Cyan and I both kind of walk up at the same time. One of those moments.
Yeah.
TV moments where we just happen to both walk at the same time.
I'm gonna like turn to George and be like, so I feel like we should have some kind of punishment for this lady here. I mean, she tried to take over the city with a bunch of raccoons, basically. Maybe not the whole city, but parts
But
of
was it really her? Seems like these coons kind of take over your mind, and they just use it to, well, communicate through. You gonna punish that little boy? Charlie?
All he did was steal some cupcakes. I don't care so much about cupcakes.
Yeah, but imagine if Charlie wasn't a little kid. He would be doing something else. Can't blame it all on her. Can't blame it all on him.
Okay, well, you know what? You're a government type person. I'm just a freelancer. I stated my opinion. I'm gonna leave it there. But I don't want to talk to this lady anymore. I'm just trying to have
I think that's fair. I think that's fair enough. We can leave it to the sheriff. He can figure out what punishment should be. But I imagine she's gonna be pretty sorry. I don't know if they even remember what happened.
I guess we'll find out.
As you're like walking away, he's like, Sam?
Yeah.
You said you've seen these creatures before.
I mean, giant raccoons. Yeah, you see them sometimes, but they're not usually. The blue glowy brain thing was new. That's new. Never happened that one before. Normally they're
Do you
just
think
like
something
giant
might have?
raccoons.
Do you think something might have caused that? Maybe we should figure that out. What if it affects some of the other creatures in this area? He kind of looks around and he's like, "Look, them hyenas breathing fire is enough for me. If they could mind control too, I don't think any of us want to see none of that."
I think we're gonna need to find somebody who knows more about magic than I do. I only know a little bit. You know.
All right then.
Are
Okay.
we gonna try to find? Are we calling that it, or are we gonna try to find?
I think that'll probably be it for today. But what we'll do is we'll go around and we'll do a little epilogue. We can sort of work this together. So I like the idea of you going to try and figure out what's causing all of the raccoons to become sentient, if you will. And I've got a feeling the answer lies in a nearby power plant. And I'll
Oh
leave
yeah,
that...
see that's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like George is pretty smart, so he's like, and he's read a lot of comic books, so he probably thinks that like something else happened with these creatures.
So let's do an epilogue together. You guys can workshop it. I'll just give you the setting of the power plant. Between the two of you, what happens? How do you guys resolve this mystery? What happens? What do you find?
I'm assuming that George probably like touches the power plant near wherever Cyan finds like Cyan probably finds like the footprints of where these creatures are, and George kind of like touches near where they were and gets this vision of like the raccoons and them kind of like scouting and looking, because they were basically scavenging and looking for stuff to eat, right? But there's like nothing there. One of them like bites on something that probably they shouldn't have, because they're like, "Is this food? Oh, let me try and taste it." I don't know.
Yeah,
Animals
desperate
taste
raccoons
everything.
lapping up toxic
Yeah.
waste.
And then like they just start, he gets this vision of them lapping up waste, and
Maybe like at first it was just one that developed mind control, but then it started mind controlling the other raccoons.
Yeah, and that's how the hive mind happened. Yeah.
Like got them to eat it too. Like the first raccoon ate the stuff and became crazy raccoon. And then
Yeah, the first one was like, "This is great." The others were like, "Oh," and he was like, "Everyone try it." And then once there was enough of them to form an Illuminati, they were like, "No, no one try it."
yeah, just us.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, well, that's a game right there. I mean, considering we made that out of nothing, how are you guys feeling? Is it good?
I liked it. I had fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It
Cool.
was very crazy hijinks.
Yeah, well, that's that's the beautiful thing about dice. You can just pick them up and create whole worlds in no time at all, as we just proved. So, why don't we go around? Why don't you tell us what your favourite moment was, if there was one, of course. Yeah, tell us where you are, who you are, where we can find you online, and all the wonderful things that you do. We'll start this time with Maggie.
Hey. My favorite moment. I think my favorite moment is probably going to be like Carla and Cyan's conversation with each other, because like I didn't even want to interrupt it. It was really funny where like she's just getting mind controlled and she's like, "You know what? I'm going to take over," and they're going to. I'm like imagining. I would kind of wish that the other outcome would have happened, where the raccoons were just like playing poker and stuff and taking everyone's bottle caps, because that would be funny. So I think that's probably my favorite moment. But you guys can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places. My schedule for the week is pinned on my Twitter. I'm in a ton of tabletops. It just depends on like what week it is. I'm in anywhere from 7 to 8 a week. So if you're looking for more tabletop action, I got you. In fact, tomorrow I will be DMing some Dungeons and Dragons if you want to come check that out. We are going to be talking to a dragon. One of the players made it through a magical door and is alone with a dragon, while the rest of its crew had to run out of a cave that was falling apart, which is kind of fun. And I upload new gameplay videos every single day except for Mondays. And Vlogmas is coming up in December, so I'm excited for that. And if you're interested in any MMORPGs, by day I also work for NCSoft, where we make tons of MMORPGs. So if you're looking for an MMORPG, we got you.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. So there you go. That's all I got.
Fantastic, thank you. And so next we have Eris. Oh, hi. It's
Hello.
weird doing a wrap up with just 2 people. It's like,
All right.
and last but not least, well, no, you can't really say that. Like,
The other person.
yeah.
I kind of think my favorite part. This is so like tiny but like the car elective. Like what a perfect that it just happens to work out so nicely.
That's what I love it so much. It's so good.
Carla's name worked perfectly with that portmanteau. It was great. And I'm like, what a tiny minor thing that still was. A+ punning too. Good job, everyone. But I am Eris or Animus Panthera almost everywhere. Sometimes I'm Animus.Panthera. If the person wasn't available. I hang out a lot on Twitter. I am a real life zoologist and I love to talk about animals. I am also running an animal pin Kickstarter right now. It's going for about 10 more days. Like cool, creepy pins. It's in my pinned tweet, so check that out. And that's me.
Awesome, fantastic. Thank you so much. My favorite part is like the whole thing. I love the character creation. I love the transition of people going from what the hell are we doing to by the time you've got to 5 things, like people are like going, oh, we need this, we need special powers and all that sort of thing. I love that. That was probably my favorite part of the whole thing, was just how you guys picked it up and ran with it. I love it.
Oh, I love those. I love games where it's just like I get to be creative and pick all the things. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Scrat, for taking us along on this journey. It's fun.
That's all right. That's
and
great.
for on the fly making an APOC world for us.
You know, what else would a good DM do? You know. Yeah, but that's me, you guys. Here are my social links. Come and join in. If you know, we've got an inclusive community over on the Discord. If you want to get into a game much like this one, send me a DM on Twitter. Catch up with the main series, Mouse Guard, which is an amazing, wholesome series, not set in an apocalyptic world, not as crazy.
Wholesome?
Well, usually. Wholesome, sometimes kind of, you know...
We
Get awesome
installed
dating.
a puppet government.
Watch Timmy get awesome dating advice from Brandon. It's great.
Yeah.
So far, the tips are climb through her window, get caught climbing out of it, and what was the last? Recently, there's been a new one.
Always warn me when I'm wooing.
Yeah, always warn me when I'm wooing.
Gotta have some backup.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's my Patreon as well, guys. Check that out. We've also got some merch there. And we've got our sponsors information here as well. Bird and the Storm Publishing, they're all for a charity. So if you buy a t-shirt or a mug, all the proceeds go to charity. And we also have Mage Hand Press. Mage Hand Press did the 5e expansion into space called Dark Matter. It's exciting week this week because they're releasing their alpha, and if you're a certain level of backer, you also get access to their beta content this week, coming Thursday when we run our show at 1 PM. So it's exciting times. Make sure you check it out, ready for the game. Today, I'm going to take us over to Cypher of Tyr, if I can spell it, who is another D&D gamer that I've been trying to get on the show, but you know, it's one of them scheduling things as always.
I think I know what our raid call is too.
Yes. What was
Crispy
it?
Pests.
Crispy Pests. There it is. So Crispy Pests without things. Crispy Pest with Scrat Hype. There it is. Now guys, we are live Monday to Thursday, 1 PM, 6 PM and 10 PM EST, and Fridays 1 PM and 8 PM. The 8 PM is every other week, this week being our week, and the 1 PM is over on the Greyhawk channel. We're going up to even more games next week. We're going up to 15 games, 4 or 5 of which are going to be viewer games, which we're going to rename to orientation sessions to make it more school-like. Yeah, see? Yeah,
nice.
Bringing in new people, you know, orientation sessions, yeah. I asked the Discord, they come up with it on me.
Clever.
Yeah. Yeah, but until then, guys, keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Toodles.